Welcome back, nature enthusiasts, to another captivating episode of Wild Wonder. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of African darters, the sleek hunters of the waterways. African darters, also known as snakebirds or anhingas, are found throughout sub-Saharan Africa, inhabiting freshwater bodies such as lakes, rivers, and marshes. African darters are superbly adapted to their aquatic lifestyle, with long, slender necks, sharp beaks, and streamlined bodies that enable them to dart through water with remarkable agility. African darters are skilled underwater hunters, using their sharp beaks to spear fish, frogs, and other aquatic prey with impressive precision. They can remain submerged for extended periods, propelling themselves through the water with powerful kicks of their webbed feet. Unlike other water birds, African darters lack waterproofing oils in their feathers. After fishing underwater, they perch on branches or rocks with outstretched wings to dry their plumage and regulate their body temperature. African darters exhibit striking plumage, with males sporting glossy black bodies, white streaks on their wings, and a distinctive chestnut-colored patch on their necks during the breeding season. During courtship, male African darters perform elaborate displays to attract females, including neck stretching, wing flapping, and vocalizations, showcasing their fitness and vigor. African darters construct nests in trees or reed beds near water, weaving together sticks and plant material to create platform nests where they lay their eggs. African darters often exhibit cooperative breeding behavior, with multiple individuals, including non-breeding helpers, assisting in nest building, incubating eggs, and feeding chicks. African darter chicks are vulnerable to predation by birds of prey, monitor lizards, and other predators, particularly when they are left unattended in the nest. African darters face threats from habitat loss, pollution, and disturbance to wetland ecosystems, which can impact their breeding success and overall population health. Time for a quiz, nature enthusiasts. How do African darters dry their plumage after fishing underwater? Is it A, shaking their bodies, B, fluffing their feathers, or C, perching with outstretched wings? Take your best guess. African darters propel themselves underwater using primarily their legs, while their wings remain pressed tightly against their bodies to reduce water resistance. African darters have a lifespan of around 10 to 12 years in the wild, although individuals in captivity can live longer. African darters often hunt alone, silently stalking their prey underwater before striking with lightning speed. African darters primarily feed on fish, but they also consume aquatic insects, crustaceans, and amphibians opportunistically. African darters have specialized digestive systems that allow them to consume large prey items, including fish with sharp spines, which they swallow headfirst to minimize the risk of injury. After returning to the surface with a catch, African darters may regurgitate indigestible parts of their prey, such as bones and scales, in the form of pellets. African darters use stealth and patience to ambush unsuspecting prey, often remaining motionless underwater for extended periods before striking. African darters have a low metabolic rate and rely on basking in the sun to raise their body temperature and maintain optimal metabolic function. Some populations of African darters undertake seasonal migrations in response to changes in water levels and food availability, traveling considerable distances to find suitable breeding and foraging grounds. The feathers of African darters lack the natural oils found in other water birds, which allows them to dive more easily but requires them to dry their plumage thoroughly after each fishing expedition. African darters use a variety of materials to construct their nests, including sticks, reeds, grasses, and other vegetation, which are woven together to form a sturdy platform. The incubation period for African darter eggs typically lasts around 3 weeks, during which time both parents take turns keeping the eggs warm. While generally silent, African darters may produce low grunts or hissing sounds as a form of communication during courtship or territorial disputes. African darter nests are vulnerable to predation by snakes, monkeys, and other animals that may raid the nest in search of eggs or chicks. African darters are generally solitary birds outside of the breeding season, although they may gather in loose aggregations at favored fishing spots. African darters have highly flexible necks and can rotate their heads nearly 180 degrees to scan their surroundings for potential prey. African darters are capable of diving to depths of up to 60 feet, 18 meters, in search of food, although they typically remain within shallower waters. In regions where their ranges overlap, African darters may hybridize with other species of darters, resulting in fertile offspring with intermediate characteristics. African darters are generally widespread and not considered globally threatened. However, localized declines may occur due to habitat degradation, pollution, and human disturbance. African darters play a vital ecological role in wetland ecosystems by controlling fish populations and contributing to nutrient cycling through their feeding and nesting activities. Answer to the quiz. The correct answer is C, perching with outstretched wings. African darters perch in the sun with their wings spread wide to dry their feathers after fishing underwater. As we wrap up our exploration of African darters, we've marveled at their aquatic prowess, distinctive plumage, and fascinating breeding behaviors. Join us next time on Wild Wonder for more captivating encounters with the wonders of the natural world. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our podcast for more wild discoveries. Until then, keep soaring with curiosity and appreciation for the incredible creatures around us.